Hello, man of God. Here's a question for you. Can you learn how to have a good marriage from somebody who was on the verge of divorce? Well, I need to be honest, that's exactly who I was. It was probably in my early 30s that my wife and I were having struggles and challenges, and it was really on the verge of deciding, are we going to keep trying this thing or are we going to just give up? The story didn't start there. For me, it started when I was a young person, right? Growing up in high school and feeling super awkward. I don't know if you've been there or you're that guy, but I remember getting ready for high school and I would put on a shirt, put on my pants, get ready, sit around waiting for the last minute till I had to get to school. And I would literally have to change shirts because I would be so anxious at times, worried about school or the social interactions or a grade or, subject I was struggling with. And I'd literally sweat through my t-shirt to take it off and put on another one. This awkwardness and anxiousness and insecurity as a young man, I tried to overcome as a young adult. I did it through trying to get my college degree, and I did eventually. In my 30s, I got my college degree, and trying to achieve something through athletics. But for me, it wasn't team sports. I did it through martial arts, and I did get a black belt, and even trying to do it through personal development, those gurus that about, the coaches, the people, the books, the courses, and all of them just bringing me to habits and frankly change that didn't transform me, and things that I just habits I had to maintain to actually stay there. And because I couldn't really overcome the things I was struggling with, just gave up on them. And then I went to entrepreneurship and trying to succeed at work and then in business and all of those things. And so that brought me to the place in my marriage where I was still that insecure person on the inside, still believing that there was more than the life I was living, and that, blaming my wife for the challenges we were walking through. But there were really just the things on the inside of me that were having their way out, that insecurity, that feeling that I wasn't worth it, that I wasn't as good as, that I wasn't the person I was supposed to be, and I didn't know how to get there. Became a Christian as well, and in that place really didn't overcome it either. While Christianity changed and transformed my life forever, it didn't overcome that insecurity, that feeling on the inside, that, that father I was trying to measure up to as a young man, I never could, never felt like I was good enough, that I could achieve enough, or that it was worth enough. And so we were in this place of figuring out what does it look like to move forward? Are we not going to stay married? Are we just going to call it quits, or are we going to continue on? And there was one thing I understood on the inside of me, and it was that I hadn't given it everything I could. I hadn't done everything I could in the marriage. I had blamed her enough, right? I had tried to find different things to justify where I was and why I was right and she was wrong. But at the end of the day, I didn't give enough to the marriage. See, there was a secret to transformation that happened that changed my life forever. For me, it was walking not just through a Christian journey, but understanding identity and understanding what it looks like to be the person I was created to be. Not what my past told me, the failed relationships, the insecurity, the father figure that I felt like I couldn't measure up to. And it wasn't the success. It wasn't trying to, be better and get my, be great athletically, be great academically, be great with my business, my job, or what have you, right? Because I succeeded at a level with those and still didn't feel adequate enough. Is really living from my created value, who I was created to be, and live the life I was created for, but really have tangible tools to be able to overcome the thoughts that kept telling me I was a failure waiting to happen, that I wasn't good enough, that this mistake is, my fault and I'm a loser waiting to happen. Maybe you're that guy there that your marriage isn't where it's supposed to be, or maybe you have an amazing one, or maybe you're somewhere in between where you're trying to figure out, this just doesn't feel like everything I want. I know how to get where you want to be, how to become the man that you're called to be. Not just a husband, not just a father, not just whatever, an employee, an entrepreneur, a boss, an owner, whatever the thing is that you have. Not just that guy who is living it out, this kind of ordinary over and over again kind of life, but the one who has an impact that they're supposed to have. And beyond the outward that you can do, the man who believes in himself. If you're like me, on the inside, there's more than this life I'm living, more than the man that I'm showing up as. You just don't know how to get there. I figured it out in my own life. I found a transformational journey. I created a transformational course because I couldn't find one. There were many courses that led to change in habits that just really led me to exhaustion. None of them led me to transformation. But in figuring out the instructions from the Word of God, I found out a way to get there. It's my passion to show you how to get there also. Not for my benefit, but for yours, because I was that guy. I remember being that guy that was desperate, that felt like I was failing, that tried everything, and each course, each book that I tried would last for a little while until I just got tired of doing those same old habits over and over again, trying to become perfect and never able to make it there. That guy who was desperate for more than where he was at and just wanted to know that place to get it, and in that place be able to live it. If you're that guy, I've got information for you. I've got a course for you. DM me. At the end of the day, keep listening to what we're doing. Keep watching what we're showing here on YouTube. And you'll have the life that you're created for. I know where you've been. I know where you're at. And I know where you can go. Let's have a conversation and figure it out. At the end of the day, figure out that you are more than that. You're more than the life you've lived. And there's an impact you're supposed to make in the world. There is a you that can show up that'll transform the world. Let's get there together. And if you can do nothing else, dominate your day.